and welcome back to another video.
This is round 2.
Round 2 of
Round
August,
two of the August
2023.
monthly. Yeah, August monthly. We have, what is it? We have JS.
Yes.
Tech Man Extraordinaire.
Yes.
Playing against Aymeric. Who,
Yeah.
Have we met? I don't know if we've met. I feel bad if we have, and I'm saying I don't know if we have. But anyways.
Yeah, there's so many newcomers to the old school community.
He's got a Tundra Wolf championship card, which we'll see in the next picture. So he's been around. Anyways, this is JS's Enchantress deck. I think we saw it 2 or 3 videos
about 3
ago.
or 4 videos ago.
Oh yeah, we hogged the videos last.
So, as always, the Enchantress, Ernie's.
Yeah, he's got the Ernie's, I guess, to be a little. So I don't think the Enchantress deck has proven itself yet to be too competitive, though it is fun and viable. Right?
Yeah.
It is fun and viable, but the Ernims are definitely a competitive card, so I think it's always nice to see that in these fun decks to at least have some edge against the people who are trying a bit harder to win. But I do like to see the Enchantress. It certainly is a card that gets better as you play multiples in the game. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously he's leaning into more the enchant creatures, weakness, blight.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
1, 2, 3. There's 1, 2, 3, 7, 10, 11, 12.
I mean, even leaning into
13.
the enchantments and the sideboards, you got, your oubliettes, the Underworld Dreams.
Well, so hold on.
Warp Artifacts.
There's only 13 enchantments in the main board. I think that's a little bit low, is it not?
But that's probably that's why he has a lot more in the sideboard. The Haunting Winds. I mean, Demonic Torments.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's a lot of mana dorks. I don't know if maybe you can cut 3 of those dorks for 3 more enchantments.
Probably. I'd probably take out 2 Deep Shadows, maybe 1 Elf, and probably put in a few more enchantments just to making the deck a little bit more powerful.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully he still gets to draw a lot of cards. That's what he came to do.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully
we saw last time, the deck performed pretty well once it gets going. So
it did draw cards, which was nice. Yeah. All right, so this is a
Pink Weenie, unpowered Pink Weenie.
That's true.
So
just play your creatures on 1, on 2. So talk about a curve. We were talking about the curve on the last video. Last week's video.
Yeah. So I like the curve a little bit more in this one. You have your turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 plays.
You have lightning bolts to back you up in case you miss your creatures. But I think you always want to play a creature before you play a burn spell in these decks, unless you're controlling the board, right?
Yeah, and the fact that he's got land tax with Winds of Change. So if his hand is not doing that great, he's not drawing what he needs, you could just shuffle them out and hopefully draw into something better.
I have the same curiosity/complaint in it. Well, not the same, it's very similar, just that it seems like, again, the basic land count is a bit low for land tax.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, he is playing 11, I believe, that we're seeing right here.
You probably don't need the City of Brasses if you're playing land tax. You know what I mean? I wonder. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, especially with 2 colors in the deck, I think he could probably just put in 2 extra mountains.
Well, especially if you have the land's edge, right? Like you want to be in a position where you have lands in your hand to discard, so maximize the number of basics.
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible that someone already did the math. Maybe he did, and 11 is the number. I don't actually know. I didn't do the math myself. It just, at first glance, looks
But I do
low.
think it is a little low because there is no Moxen, so he's going to have to play at least a minimum number of lands anyways. So I'm curious to see how this deck will perform unpowered.
The sideboard, it looks like he's only really got 2 cards that'll help versus JS, right? Even the Blood Moon doesn't really do much since there's so many dorks. If I see Bird of Paradise, if I see 2 mana dorks in my opponent in game 1, I'm probably never bringing in a Blood Moon versus that.
Yeah, exactly. So
maybe it's just a disenchant, and the Divine Offering doesn't really do anything. So sideboarding it's almost like the sideboarding doesn't matter from
maybe sitting in the bottle if you're scared about the earnings.
Yeah, true.
Because
it's something. It is something, right?
Yeah.
Just awkward, right? Because you could get rid of those 2 City of Brasses for 2 basics, and then make the City in a Bottles 100% good, right? Now there is a small downside with those cities. All right, I think this is the playmat that JS was telling us about. I think, right? Like that's his 2-player playmat. It's nice to have a 2-player playmat, I guess. Could be good.
Yeah, really nice looking, actually.
Yeah, we've got a reveal of the hand. There's the blood. There's a blood moon in the main deck. There is 2 blood moons in the main deck. I missed that. Okay.
Oh, another deck with a blood moon.
Yeah. Main deck and Armageddon. Armageddon is always an interesting, always a fun card for everybody involved, right? There isn't anybody who complains whenever they see an Armageddon.
I like playing Armageddon.
Yeah, never happened once. Never once heard a complaint. All right. If you're the guy playing Blood Moon, you're happy to see a Bayou do nothing. Little does he know, of course, there are in fact dorks in there. Because that was a deep shadow he just drew, possibly even.
Yeah.
So now
that was a deep shadow. Okay.
Now the Blood Moon looks a little bit less exciting in the guy.
Yeah, exactly. Playing the weakness is killing off.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, like why not? If you see a Savannah line on turn 1, you know your opponent wants blood, so you might as well stop the bleeding, so to speak, before it starts.
Exactly. Especially if I'm seeing a plateau, I'm like, oh, he's probably playing pink weenie, you know. Okay, strip mining the pendulum.
Yeah, which is interesting, right? Which is good because, like, I mean, you do have a choice. Take your opponent off colors, but the elf itself creates black, so he has a makeshift Bayou, and on top of it, the Pendlehaven helps him block almost all of the creatures. So now the Javelineer can kill the elf, can it not?
Yeah, it could use its 1 counter to deal 1 damage.
It's like Triskelion, who just shoots it. It's not part of blocking.
You might want to check that. So JS playing. Oh, he's got an Enchantress.
Oh, you have to tap it.
Yeah.
Enchantress is a 0/2, right?
I do believe so.
That's not how you spell that. Yeah, it's a 0/2. So Javelineer is not going to be able to deal with it.
So Javelineer taking out the...
Yeah. I mean...
That was a D-Shadow?
He's doing a pink Wedgie. That's hilarious. He's doing a good job at dealing with the things that help make the Blood Moon good again, but of course the basic force came down, so now...
JS drawing a card from playing the weakness.
Oh, and a Swamp too, yeah. So Blood Moon is really not looking good anymore.
No.
Oh.
And he's got a Chaos Orb.
Do you orb that plateau, or is that too greedy? Probably a bit greedy.
It's greedy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Sorry. He's got land tax.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah, of course.
What am I talking about?
Yeah.
I need my.
I think you need your little cup of coffee there, buddy. You need to clean those lenses.
Yeah, I'll get a set. I'll need my set a give.
Okay. So he's searching now for some basic lands.
Yeah. No cards in the format that really take advantage of the land tax, right? Other than Land's Edge, if you want to be on the burn side of things.
Yeah, at least in old school.
Yeah. The card recently banned in pre-modern. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Apparently people forgot that you could play a card called Disenchant. That's me heavily oversimplifying. Gonna cause a lot of problems for any
Focus on the
pre-modern.
match here.
They're just shoveling.
You're just throwing fuel in the fire.
Yeah. Okay, I think you're chain lightning that Enchantress, right? You just you just kill that thing.
Do you really want your opponent drawing cards?
No, even if it's just one, I don't want it. I don't want to see it. Kill. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Burn with all the kinds of fire.
I mean, you can still play land.
Yeah, definitely play land. JS could always orb his own land or orb the land tax. Orbing your own land is like a 1 in X bajillion situation where it's necessary because you're going to win the next turn and etc.
Okay, so he's strip mining. He's going super aggressive on the mana denial.
Yeah, so he's killed the Pendlehaven, a Bayou, and an Elf of Deep Shadow. So really, oh yeah, we're gonna do it. That's why we got less views on the last video, because we just We don't do the flipping. We just.
Yeah, exactly.
I choose that thing. Okay, it's dead.
No.
We're not real.
Well, I haven't been able to promote the videos. I've been out of commission.
They don't believe in us. They
Oh,
don't believe
this
in us.
enchant. Jeez,
Wow,
Louise.
this is aggressive. So rude. So mean. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Like, you gotta stop your opponent from winning. You know, either win or stop your opponent from winning.
Okay.
Okay, that's a blight. Unfortunately, no card draw since the Enchantress is long dead.
Unfortunately, but
So blight says whenever it taps for mana, you destroy the land. Is this correct, or it takes?
yeah, the line is tapped. Okay.
All right, we got the threat in play.
It's still anyone's game at this point. A lot of back and forth.
Yeah, elf can block a Savannah Lion. Unfortunately for Savannah Lion. Ooh, we're attacking. Yeah, we're blocking for sure. Yeah, I like it.
Yep, I like that.
I think
Maybe
if
if JS
oh,
gets like another land, you can maybe play an Ernie.
yeah, maybe that's true. Oh, but it's interesting too. Yeah, I guess like that. I guess that block is indicative of either he has a land in his hand, or he does not. At the very least, does not have Urnum Djinn. But you can be sure that he is not playing a 4-drop unless he gets it right off the top of his deck. So both cards have to be land 4-drop.
Okay.
But I think we've seen this as Imprison. Is that what it's called? Imprison?
Imprisonment, yeah. One of the 7 banned cards.
What do you mean? What do you mean banned cards?
In prison. Well, I remember Wizards of the Coast deemed 7 cards.
What's Wizards of the Coast?
You know, in prison.
I don't know.
Invoke Prejudice.
I have no idea
Crusade,
what you're talking about.
Stone. Yeah.
I haven't heard a single thing about what you're talking about. So, anyways, Imprison is a 1-mana. What does it do?
Enchant creature.
Yeah, enchant creature, of course.
I think you, if I recall correctly, if it attacks or blocks, it has to pay X amount of mana. We'll be looking.
Oh, there's a Djinn. So what happened? He played an elf.
So you played an elf, mana.
Oh, because he top decked an elf, and then the Djinn came next, right? But just to say it right, like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When you block with that, with the elf, you're basically saying I don't have Djinn in my hand. So he drew it off the top, which is really good for him. Well, pay 1 each time target creature. Whenever a player activates an ability with tap, it may pay 1 if you do counter it. If you don't, destroy Imprison. So Imprison only stops it like for one turn. It's only temporary imprisonment, right?
Yeah. It's not that great of a card, I think, anyways. But I think you probably just shoved it in because it's a...
It's a 1-mana draw 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly draw 2. Alright, we've got more strip mine action happening on the forests, which means no forest walk. He took away his own forest walk ability.
But he still swings for 4, so...
No, I'm saying like, now when JS gives forest walk to...
Yeah, no.
There's no more forest in play.
there's no more forest, so... He could block it. I'm wondering why is there a dice on the White Knight?
Yeah, got too distracted by...
Yeah, researching cards and...
Prison. It's okay. We have a little bit of a chit-chat going on here. Maybe a rules explanation. Unfortunately, we can't hear what they're saying.
But wait, if he stripped his own thing with the Blood Moon, would that not have worked?
Yeah, I don't know if the Blood Moon came after. I was looking at the deck picture. I missed it. I missed it completely. Maybe if I just, instead of rewinding, I just hover.
Okay, so we're having a bit of a rule discussion. So, playing a so-called strip mine. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, so I guess they just forgot that blood. I guess they just forgot that Blood Moon was in play.
But once again,
Unless it's actually not in play and he's just like, I got this dead card in my hand. Which is, I don't know. We'll have to get some clarification on that. We'll ask JS after this. Maybe get some, maybe get a comment once the video is uploaded.
yeah. we'll see what.
Explanation for anybody who's interested. And they could have just forgot it's possible. Like I'm saying, when I say that Blood Moon is not played as often as it should, it also means that people will just forget about it.
Forget about it, exactly, yeah. Okay, so you swing in for 5 damage.
The White Knight not blocking the Elf either is interesting.
That's why I don't like land tax. It's such a slow card. And at this point, it's...
Yeah, it's not going to stop the 5 damage coming in every turn.
You got a 2-turn clock.
Though interesting, if JS plays a land, Aymeric can just tap his plateau to kill it with the Blight, and then that will activate the land tax. Well, if you don't block this turn, you're going to have to block next turn, so... Yeah, you could just block, hope to get a plow, so that you don't fall to 3.
Maybe he was hoping to draw a burn spell so he could kill the army with the White Knight.
Yeah, true. There's also the balance. There's actually no plows in that deck, so...
Or maybe he's hoping to get a Preacher, just to steal his...
Unfortunately, not enough mana or lands in play. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would block.
I probably would block the Ernie at this point.
Just not go to 3. You never know. Not go to 3, and then hope that you draw some kind of removal. Your best bet being balance.
Yeah. Looks like they're having some sort of discussion. Probably explain to him why land tax is so bad. Just...
Don't they know this is life and death? No time for chit chatting.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, when you're in it, you're not thinking that, you know, when you're playing a match, you're not thinking about the time frame of people commenting on the video. So sometimes, I mean, you know, when we're playing casually.
Yeah.
When we're playing casually, we're not like one move after another. Yeah. Sometimes we'll sit there and discuss a move for like 5 minutes.
Or even check directions to somewhere downtown.
And then you'll spend the next 7 minutes looking up stats and... replays and
then you get distracted and tell a story about something that happened to you at work.
So I'm wondering what's going on at this point.
Yeah.
So
have we decided to live or let the night live?
Maybe at this point, you know, you just push like the fast forward button in the old, you know.
There is a good chance that JS might just cut some of this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe he won't, and the lucky viewers get to hear our wonderful thoughts. And at the same time, I've just put JS in a difficult position. So, anyways, it'd be nice to understand.
This so JS knows this was all Mark's doing, none of mine.
But it would be nice to understand what they were talking about if we could. If we had
I don't know. Because... Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
If we have a decision, and the decision is to stay at 7 and not fall to 3. And we find a balance. We did not find a balance. We have 6 lands in our hand, though, because land tax does get you lands.
Yeah.
At the very least, it does that. But
I mean,
it's all
worst case, it filters out your deck.
Yeah.
So you could, like, draw something, an answer, but...
There's always still balance to play. No need to play the Enchantress, if you ask me. Because if you playing the Enchantress does not get him any more damage or ensure the win next turn, and it just dies the balance. So just attack and pass is the right play. And hope that the gods are smiling upon thou. And... what do we have? Balance? Let's see it. Slam it. Balance. No.
White Knight.
It is a blocker.
It is a blocker, so you can buy it one more turn.
Oh, and threaten the bolt. Threaten the bolt. If you're JS, you still have to attack.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He might also just have removal on him.
Yeah, because even... you can play weakness. Actually, no, you can't because it's protection from luck.
Make your mountainous wall. So now it can't burn, but that's okay. I don't think he had the burn anyways. But still. Good protection, because if you both in response, you just don't attack, I guess. And that's looking pretty good now, because even the land of War Elf gets through, so it has to be balanced.
Yep, there you go.
No, just more lands, unfortunately. So, see, the City of Brass is interesting in hindsight, 2020. If those were basic lands, he could have gotten them out of his deck, possibly in the earlier turns, and he wouldn't have drawn them. They could have been something else from his deck. But it's okay, we go to game 2. Enchantress was able to do a thing, but unfortunately it looks like the pink Weenie deck didn't even really draw him that many burn, if any burn, and it just kind of flooded, so...
Yeah, but I mean, there's a
Didn't
lot
really
of
do
good
anything.
back and forth in the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. There was a lot of interaction on the board. That is
Yeah.
true. Yeah. A lot of
The Pendle Haven,
Yeah, a lot
Sylvan
of-
Library that got disenchanted. Yeah, so we'll see what happens in game 2. I'm actually kind of favoring the Rock Enchantress, just because it has like Ernie's and Fallen Angel. So
I actually like the pink Weenie. Like, if it goes first and just plays creature or Javelineer, and then can kill your bird and bolt your thing, and just keep going and not flood. I have faith in it, but
I just
don't
think
have faith.
Unpowered.
yeah. Well, I don't have faith in land tax as a card. I don't know if pink Weenie necessarily means you have to have land tax in the deck, but I just don't like land tax. I think that's not a good card. I don't think it's a good card in this format, and I don't even think it was good enough to be banned in pre-modern. But not that we're bringing that shit up again, even though I just did. But I'm just saying,
Oh, stoking the flames.
it's more just a comment about land tax, like especially when you're on the play too. It's like so easy to play around.
Yeah.
So good. I'm so happy he played the line instead of land tax. I'm very happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Playing the weakness.
dead. Subtle and bolt, but it does the same thing in this context. Land tax.
Attacks.
Like if you had the option to play a white knight there or 2 1-drops and you didn't do it because you wanted to play the land tax, I'm just like, nah, you're going against the whole point of your day.
Yeah.
So I hope he actually didn't have anything else to do. Like if his option was land to go, then of course you play the land tax and don't play a land. But if you have a threat, something like, especially when, look at that, 4, 8, 12, 15, 20, 23, and then Land's Edge, 25. 25 of cards in your deck are to deal damage. That sounds to me like you should be dealing damage, not hoping to fetch some lands out of your deck. But again, it's okay, because, right, like, if you have nothing else to do, or if it's going to fuel your later game, then it's fine. But I wonder if it's good enough. That's the question I'm always asking. Is it good enough?
Yeah. Land tax I don't think is good enough. I just don't think it makes the cut. I don't know. I've tried to play that card so many times, and I've always failed with it.
Yeah.
I just feel it just falls a little flat.
It's just like at least in other formats, there's ways to abuse it. Here, there's no way to abuse it, and it can be played around very easily, right? Like in another format where you try to play around it, you're worried about your opponent still abusing the card somehow. Here, it's like you just play. You can play around it if you want. You can not care about it. They're not really taking advantage of the fact that they have all that mana, all those lands, I should say.
Okay, so playing Pendle Haven.
Is this our Enchantress, buddy? No, this is a Djinn.
Oh, we got a fat boy on board.
Yeah, again, no plows, unfortunately, even in the sideboard. So very hard for him to deal with the Djinn. It has to be a block. Oh, we're asking for an undo. He did see the card, but it's okay. We're all just having fun, I think.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So, is he gonna want his trigger with his land tax?
Maybe if he doesn't have enough to play, he's worried about having to go to discard. Then there's that too, right? Like if you don't have enough things to do, then you're just gonna discard the cards that you got.
Yeah. Plus, I just find it weird that there's land tax and then Armageddon and Blood Moon all in the same deck.
Mm.
You know, those three together, it's like I felt like he's trying to do too many things at once. And I think it kind of hinders the deck, making it less powerful.
Which, again, of course, unless we just don't know. And, like, if you want to play Pink Weenie, it means you are playing land tax. Like, I don't know.
Like, I would probably opted to take out land tax and maybe put, like, Stone Rains.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just keep destroying the opponent's lands, any lands that you want.
It is.
Play the Armageddons, and then the Blood Moons at least will then make their non-basics mountains.
Yeah.
Screwing up their whatever mana base that they do have.
Interesting. Yeah. It is important to note, though, in the last game, if you would have drawn a Land's Edge, he did have like 8 lands in his hand. He could have 6 lands in his hand. He could have killed the whole board and then been in a pretty strong position.
I mean,
so
he still could have kept the Land's Edge, maybe. But...
Oh, we got the city. So he did bring the city, and that is his cleanest way of killing the Djinn. Actually, that is true. We did mention that during the deck tech.
Yeah.
It is definitely his cleanest way of killing a Djinn. Now it's going to sit there in case there's a follow-up Djinn, which is very good.
But you can't play it anyways.
That's what I mean, like in case there's a follow-up.
Oh, in case there's a follow-up. I think so there's a follow-up. So he's got, even JS has got City in the Bottle. City of Brass in his hand. Can't play it. So, I don't think it'll hurt him too much, but still...
he needs to get an Enchantress in play, which I think that's what his second to last card is. He gets an Enchantress in play, and then he just starts to hopefully...
I mean, if you're JS, what do you sideboard in?
Oubliette and the Demonic Torment, maybe?
Yeah.
Just creature removal?
I guess.
Well, he does have options.
Yeah, because Warp Artifact and Hunting Winds don't seem to be things you'd probably sideboard in. Okay. Okay, so he's got an Enchantress now. So let's see if he's going to start drawing some cards. Okay. Playing in, I believe it was an Evil Presence.
Yeah, get rid of the white. Though you're probably more afraid of red, no? I mean, the white does cast his creatures, but those creatures are not easily dealing with your Enchantress, whereas... Oh, no, that is a dead card. Which is fine, because you can't even play it, so it's not like it goes in the graveyard. You just can't play it.
Yeah, you just can't play it. That was a Deep Shadow.
Yeah. So this is, like, I guess, an issue with the lack of... enchantments can come into play, but hopefully if he boarded in 4 enchantments and he took out 4 non-enchantments, that will help him a lot.
I mean, do you take out like Scavenger Folks?
Yeah.
You know,
2 Scavenger Folks and boy, I mean, you may even end up cutting some enchantments. Well, unless you cut some dorks. But he did see Blood Moon last game, so maybe you can't afford to... Like, maybe the Blood Moon deck is actually cutting their Blood Moons, but you can't take that gamble, so you have to keep some of your dorks, or most or all of your dorks in.
Yeah.
Alright, we have another land taxoning.
Okay. It's getting 2 planes.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play like 2 creatures, creature and a bolt, Land's Edge.
Because right now JS is kind of like in this weird situation where if he attacks with his mana dwarves, he's not like You know what I mean? Like the lions, either if he blocks with the lion, he's going to kill one of his mana dorks, or it's just going to be an exchange of back and forth. I mean, yes, there's the Pendelhaven, so maybe he could pump it. That might be his option right now, just to get in a little bit of damage.
The
Until he could maybe get rid of the city in the bottle.
Yeah. I think JS is in a position where he needs to like top deck really well, and every turn where he misses out on something while his opponent only has a 2/1 in play is going to hurt him a lot. So he really needs to not let things get out of control. How is he disenchanting? How's he disenchanting? Doesn't Evil Presence turn it into a swamp? Are we wrong about that?
I thought Evil Presence was...
Enchant land is a swamp. He used the plains to disenchant.
Yeah, unfortunately that was... Well, like I always said, you know, after 30 years, still making mistakes.
The hardest part about Magic is reading always. That's what I always
Well,
say.
maybe... I mean, I'm sure he has the planes in his hand. But...
We saw him land tags for 2 of them. And,
Yeah.
and then he played a mountain. So apparently there's a life total error that they're figuring out. But they should be discussing the disenchant error and the strip mining during the Blood Moon error in the first game.
So they're probably discussing life totals.
Lightning Bolt from the pink weenie deck, what did it kill? An Enchantress?
Yeah, I think so, yes. This afraid of JS's card advantage, I suppose. So a little bit of back and forth. I mean, them discussing. That's the thing too. When you're maybe at this point, we don't know. Like for us, this is the second round. Maybe you're 3 or 4 beers in. You know, things are getting a little rowdy. Poor decisions are being made. You know. Like I said, this is all casual. But I mean, that's why I think sometimes videos like this are essential, because the player can rewatch their own matches and notice some mistakes.
See what they
or
did.
just other players in general. That are,
Oh, that is a Land's Edge for... What, 18? Did he actually just Land's Edge for 18?
I think 16. Yeah, 16. 18, you'd have to have 9.
So this is one of those situations where stripping your own land is the right call. If you strip your own land from JS's side, then land tax can't be triggered anymore, which means no Land's Edge. So if he cannot, then...
I mean, once he starts drawing Dark Cards of the Woods,
Oh
there
my
we go.
good God, he drew Dark Heart.
I was just gaining 3 life.
2 life or 3 life?
3.
Oh yeah, he was at 2. And then attack for 2. Wow, so, but here we're getting a land... No, we're not getting a land tax. Do not land tax. Do not land tax.
Nope.
Good count. Yeah. There's just nope. The gods said me, friend. The gods, they said my name. Oh wait.
Fortune.
That's a big one.
Yeah, but he's tapped out.
But all he has to do is discard lands.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but both players could discard lands, I think.
And he drew 1, 2, 3 lands. 4 lands.
Jesus. Brutal.
These pictures should match.
Okay, whatever that was.
Well, looks like we have game 3 on our hands.
Interesting. That Land's Edge was extremely brutal, right? So, like, that's what I mean. Like, land tax exists in this format because there's a card called Land's Edge. So, sure, like, land tax is good for that purpose. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, here's an example where it actually worked. I started playing against this deck 2 years ago. Somebody was playing that deck, lands, tax, edge, whatever you want to call it, and yeah, the person was very discouraged at the end. I was playing shops, and like,
Oh yeah, well, you know,
and they were like, because by turn 3, I'm like giving them, they're already down to whatever life, and they're like searching for bases.
just trying to get their lands out of their deck still. All right, we have this game 3, which is interesting. I was really not expecting a third game, so just based on the time of the video, which means that's pretty exciting. I think we get to see a third one.
Amazing, you know, still unpowered,
Yeah,
making it to game 3.
yeah. JS is playing full power, and by full power, I just mean the power that matters to his deck is available to him, and he is using it.
Yeah. There's always that argument of just splashing all the mocks in, even though you're not playing with certain colors,
Yeah.
versus...
Only playing your colors.
Interesting enough, none of the players are playing Thor still.
Yeah, it's true. Well, JS doesn't need it. He's got all those dorks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, turn 1 elf. You love to see it. If you like tapping forests, you love to see elf on turn 1.
Plateau. Okay. So he's got a little...
Turn 2 Enchantress. Can we see it? No. Weakness. Yeah, get rid of that thing, which threatens my elf. Specs for 1. That is a clock. It is a clock. It does do the killing thing.
Yes. 19 more turns. Okay. Another Javelin here. And a Lantax. CJS is holding a Fallen Angel. And playing another weakness. And swinging for 1.
Yeah. Good, good, good. Protect your elf.
Now, I mean, just looking at this, it seems like...
Oh, I think you want to use that fireball if you got it. Yeah, yeah. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
it's not even for the clock. It's more just for the mana potential, right? Like now, Jace is gonna have to play another land. So that's like a way to turn on your. It's like a back.
Yeah, turn on your land tax. I mean,
Oh,
JS maybe just not wanting to play into his land tax. He's like, if I don't play land, he's not going to do much.
Can't do anything. Yeah.
I'm wondering what's with the dice on his...
He's telling the audience how many cards are in his hand.
Ah. Is he stripped
He
his
stripped his own planes. Yeah, yeah. He wants to turn
Interesting.
on.
Okay, well,
He
at that
wants
point...
to turn on his. But JS is kind of getting shredded with the lands, I think, in situation.
Well, I guess, as they say, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Wow. Okay, that was aggressive. You're holding 2 fallen angels in your hand, and you stripped yourself. That is an interesting decision. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Underworld
He's like-
dreams. And
It's like
2
two can
fallen
play
angels.
this game.
Oh, that's a start. That only hits enchantments, artifacts,
Artifacts, yeah.
right? Okay, that's a bigger body. Land.
Okay.
You can attack for 1. I think you should attack for 1.
Yeah, I was really surprised JS played that strip mine. He's being super aggressive.
Yeah, he'd be at 4 mana right now, yeah. On his way to 5 next turn.
Okay, so Jess having to
See, the problem with doing that is... Okay, well, he has no lands, but the problem with doing that is that if he ever wants to play another land at any point before Aymeric does, he should have never shipped his own land.
Yeah.
Like, shipping your own land basically means I'm never playing another land until you do. Which you could be in a very dangerous situation if you take that route when your opponent's also playing 2/2s and 1/1s that deal damage. Yeah,
so he's gonna pump it for 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he can't. If he blocks with the Scavenger Folk, he give it first strike.
So yeah, you see it like that because he's forced to play a land there. Now he basically could have had an angel instead of.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, you gotta be careful with the. Like, as much as we talk shit about land tax and it's easy to play around, you do have to still be careful.
I mean, even the angel would not have been good because those are protection from black.
Well, the angel at least flies.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a lot of damage coming through, especially if you have a.
Yeah. Ooh.
I wonder if he had another creature in his hand. I think I would favor another creature instead of the disenchant. Like, that Underworld Dreams isn't threatening you, I don't think.
Not looking good for James. Okay. So triggering the land tax. And because you're not drawing the cards.
Yeah, nothing from Underworld Dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, because it says search your library for 3 basics.
Yeah, put them in
up
your
to
hand.
3.
Put them in
Reveal
your
them,
hand.
and then put them into your hand.
I know I should maybe stop saying it. I don't think I will. But I would really love to play Twiddlevolt versus all these decks.
You might upset that one person that made that one comment one time in that one
It's okay,
video.
it's all for him or her. It's all for that.
What's his obsession with this Twiddlevolt?
Yeah.
I should have went there with my shops.
No, nobody likes workshopping. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves watching me play for 20 minutes. Nobody loves watching you win in 4 minutes. Okay.
You could play for 20. I'll win in 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Another disenchant. JS is probably going to say, you know what, you win.
Yeah.
Nope, there was a bit of confusion. No, he was at 9. He should be at 2. Sorry, he should be at 7. Yeah, the life total was 9, not 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know what's going on.
I think they're even, I'm not sure.
That might be a mental concession.
Yeah.
A mental defeat.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so honestly, I think definitely stripping his own land was
Yeah, I think that
was the nail.
that was the nail. Because he could have played the Fallen Angels. He could have had some threats on the board. But, I mean, we learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
And
Land tax showing us. But at the same time, I still don't have faith in the card.
you know, the deck was unpowered and still managed to.
Well, it is definitely a format of creatures and burns. So those two combinations. Well, I mean, game 2 was pretty savage, right? Like 16 damage.
Yeah, 16
One
damage.
But the thing is, like only 2 winds of change, no demonic, no way of searching your deck. Like, you're basically just hoping that 2 win 60 cards eventually draws you the land. Is that what's called Land's Edge, or is that what the deck's called? I keep referring to the red card as Land's Edge, but is that actually what it's called?
Yes. Land's Edge, but anyways, regardless, it was a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah.
Yep. So thanks for watching, everyone.
Till the next one.